someone, well, not someone, a couple of you actually have asked me about swinging, trades and yada yada. But the question that I got today was actually really good. So the question is focused on how do you choose a lotto? So I just want to explain the difference between a lotto and just like a decent swing. So, on Friday, let me set this up differently. Let me think, actually. I want to use this chart. On Friday, when I was looking at AMD, right? So this is Friday, okay? And I'm going to draw a box just so we can know where we are. So, come on. This is Friday. Alright, I'm making it blue just so you don't get confused with the gap. So if this is my, hold on, let me make sure my trades are up on my other screen so I don't miss anything. Yeah, okay, so if this is my Friday on AMD, right? And what do I know about AMD? Well, I know a few things. First of all, I know that there's a ton of strength, right? Actually, the main thing that I know about AMD, I'm going to make this a lot larger. So the main thing I know is that it flipped the year green down here, right? Because the year was red and we thought, oh, I don't have a yearly open. The year is red and we thought that we were going to go down here, right? And this happened across the board to a ton of tickers. When that doesn't happen, I'm looking for the year to flip green. Once the year flips green, now I know we're off to the races. Like, now is the time. Okay? So that's the first thing. 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to do this end trade. Okay, so that's the first thing. Is the market is strong across the board. 1. Number 2, once this flips green, now AMD has joined the party. I know that AMD has a huge market cap. I know that they are one of the biggest chips. Like, all of those things I already know about this company. And so, for me, they're a little late to the party, but they have nothing but space up. We can go outside here on AMD. You flip this year green, let's go. Like, now's the time. So I know that. I also see on my 6 month, right? Because this month started the new 6 month candle. I see this massive hammer. Strength, okay? On the quarter, what do we have? A 3-2 continuation. Strength. On the month, continuation. Strength, right? So all of these things are telling me AMD is strong. AMD is ready. You've waited long enough. It's coming back up, right? I know all of that information. So when I get to something like this, I want to keep the month there. When I get to something like this, and I can see nothing but strength, 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 strength. Couldn't even fill a gap. Like, now's the time, right? That's all that AMD is telling me. Okay, so when I swing it, sorry, 2 seconds. I just need to make sure. Oh, okay, that was just a flip. Okay. Okay, back to this. So I just need to make sure that I'm understanding the direction of the ticker, the strength of the ticker, and why it's going that direction, okay? So we've gone through that. Now that I know that, and you can see I have my month targets panned out, right? So here, and then this white line up here. I know I have a ton on this chart, but I'm obviously trading it like crazy. And it looks like we filled that gap too. So this can go. So I know all of those things. And on Friday, what other information do I have? I have the information that this ticker has earnings next week. Okay, what does that usually mean for chips? Earnings next week for chips means there's a pump coming, right? And you can look at chips across the board. Obviously, my favorite chips, again, NVIDIA, AMD, and we all know what NVIDIA has been doing the last year and a half, 2 years, right? So knowing this, I know that playing earnings is high risk. So why not play the week before when everyone's excited, when things are getting pumped, like, and get in that way, right? So that's part of the logic. The other part of the logic is front loading it so that when earnings happens, I'm already in and I don't have to overpay for anything. That's why I was talking about the 215s. So I just want to make sure that it's clear that my swing on Friday was not a lotto. It was not a high risk zero or hero trade. So a lotto is a zero or hero. Like either I lose it all or it flies, right? This was a thought out idea of AMD has nothing but space up. AMD has earnings. This ticker is strong, right? All of those things are going through my head as I'm getting into this trade. What I want to do is pay less for something that will end up in the money or close to the money. That's the reason why I was spending out of the money. So I just want to be like super, super clear that when I'm swinging, I would say 85%, 85% of the time, it's not a lotto, it's a thought out swing, right? Same thing with NVIDIA. NVIDIA's a little different because Friday was this, right? I was in pretty early, very confident in my swing, and then it closed like this, and I was like, ah, shit. But part of that confidence is I see this hammer on the week. I know that AMD is at all-time highs, which gives you a little bit more trepidation, but also everything is at all-time highs. Everything is pumping, right? Yada, 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 yada. So that's why I swung AMD. AMD could be on the teeter of more of a lotto. It still wasn't, but it can be closer to that because of the way this day closed. Smartest thing to do would be to get out. But they're gapping the market every week. Like almost every Monday we're gapping. So I felt okay about it. It wasn't too far down, yada, yada. But I just want to be super, super clear that that was not a lotto. So a lotto is, I would have to find one. 1 second. I'm looking at these hours. Would love this inside hour to trigger. Would love this inside hour to trigger. And would love SMCI's inside hour to trigger. Okay. I don't want to, lose money while I'm explaining this. So back to AMD. I'm trying to find a risky swing. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and find one. But this was, obviously all swings have risk, but this was not lotto risk. This was like, honestly, even if we gap down, I probably would have just held through the pump. It would have to been like a super, super obvious short. So I want people to know that swings are different. I also got a question about long-term swing. Maybe I'll make a different video because I have to think about that. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. I will go back and find a lotto swing and... Oh, I have one. SPY. So I'm long SPY for tomorrow. I think I'm in like the 640s. Like, that's a lotto. What indication do I have that SPY is going to continue up? Nothing this week, right? And I'm in tomorrow's swings. It'd be different if I was in, a couple months out. No, like, I'm swinging for tomorrow. That's a lotto. I have no proof that SPY is going to flip the day back green. I have no proof that we're going to close strong, even if we don't flip green. The week is red. Like, of course, we're closer to flipping the week back green, but, I'm making assumptions. I'm guessing and all of that. AMD, I was making educated guesses that were supported by the strat, that was supported by the charts, that was supported by all of that. Right now, on SPY, there is no support for this to flip long. Maybe you could argue the hour. I can pull it up. But ultimately, this is big risk. This is big risk. I've seen moves on SPY that, could blow through it. But at the end of the day, not the smartest thing to do, especially as far out of the money as I am. But it was also really cheap, and I like to trade like that. But that would be more of a lotto, higher risk, barely any information supporting it, a lot of hope in that trade, if that makes sense. Okay? Sweet.